The morning it happened was quiet, the kind of quiet you only get on old farmland where the wind moves slower and the birds don't panic unless something is really wrong. I was fixing a broken fence line near the south field when the ground started to tremble. At first, I thought it was thunder rolling in early, but then the sound sharpened, metal grinding, engines growling, the unmistakable roar of heavy machinery. I climbed onto the fence post and froze. 10 bulldozers were crawling toward my property line like a slow, mechanical army, bright yellow blades gleaming in the sun. Dust rose behind them, choking the air, and standing at the front, arms crossed, sunglasses on, was her, HOA Karen. She didn't wave, she didn't shout, she just smiled, the kind of smile people wear when they think they've already won. Within minutes, the bulldozers formed a solid wall across the only access road to my farm, pushing dirt and gravel into a massive barrier. My driveway vanished. My gate was buried. I walked down toward her, boots crunching on fresh soil, and asked calmly what she thought she was doing. She laughed, loud and sharp, and said the WA had voted to reclaim community access land. She claimed my road violated their development plan and that construction would continue until I complied. I told her this land had been in my family for generations, long before her luxury subdivision existed. She waved me off and said paperwork had changed. Then she leaned closer and whispered that if I tried to interfere, she'd have me fined, sued, and cut off from utilities. Around us, workers avoided eye contact. The bulldozers kept pushing, sealing me in like a prisoner on my own farm. I pulled out my phone to call the county, and she smirked wider, saying, "Good luck." I already talked to them. That's when I realized she truly believed she had absolute power. By noon, I was officially trapped. No road out, no deliveries in. My livestock was restless, sensing something was wrong. WA signs went up on my fence like flags planted after a conquest. Karen gathered her board members nearby, laughing, taking photos, celebrating like they'd just crushed a nuisance farmer who didn't know his place. I didn't argue anymore. I didn't threaten. I just listened, because every word she said was digging her deeper. I walked back to my house, opened my desk drawer, and took out a badge I rarely needed to show. It wasn't shiny, it wasn't dramatic, but it carried more authority than her entire WA combined. Then I made one phone call. Not to complain, not to beg, but to notify. And when I walked back outside, Karen was still smiling, completely unaware that her bulldozers were about to become evidence. Part 2. The county vehicles arrived faster than anyone expected. 2 trucks at first, then 4, then a black SUV that made the WA board suddenly go quiet. Karen's smile faded just a little as inspectors stepped out, clipboards in hand, cameras already recording. She rushed forward, loudly announcing that everything was approved, that she had permits, that this was all perfectly legal. One inspector didn't even look at her. He asked me one question instead. "Commissioner, would you like us to proceed?" Karen turned slowly, confusion flashing across her face. I reached into my jacket and held up the badge. The color drained from her skin. I explained calmly, loudly enough for everyone to hear, that I was the county's land commissioner, the same office that approved zoning, access roads, environmental impact, and construction permits. The same office her WA had tried to go around. The same office she thought she'd already talked to. The inspectors moved fast after that. They measured boundaries, photographed the blocked road, and reviewed documents Karen frantically tried to hand over. Within minutes, violations started stacking up. Illegal obstruction of a registered access route, unauthorized land modification, environmental disruption near protected farmland. One by one, red tags went up on the bulldozers. Engines shut off. Workers stepped back. Karen started shouting that this was harassment, that she'd sue, that this wasn't over. But her voice sounded small now, swallowed by the silence she'd created. By sunset, the entire development was under a stop work order. Fines were issued on the spot. The HOA's legal counsel was summoned. Karen was told, very clearly, that any further action on my land would result in criminal charges. She stood there shaking, sunglasses gone, confidence shattered, as the same dirt wall she built was ordered removed at the HOA's expense. The next week, the story spread. Homeowners demanded answers. The WA board voted Karen out. Lawsuits followed. Property values dropped, and my road was restored better than before, reinforced, widened, and legally protected forever. Sometimes people ask why I didn't stop her sooner. I tell them the truth. Power reveals itself best when someone abuses it first. And every time I hear a bulldozer now, I smile, because I know exactly who's really in charge of the land.